All right, it's the Benchmade Presidio 2 Auto 5700. See, I'll read off some specs here. So this guy, it's got a blade length of 3 3/4. Handle thickness is 63/100. So it's chunky. It's got M4 steel. So 5700. And the old M4. Nice. That weighs 6.32 ounces. Pretty heavy. Overall length of 8 3/4 and handle length of 5 inches. So it's got good handle size. It's very comfortable knife. Definitely built for action. And I also broke this guy out too. As kind of a comparison, I'll stick that up there. That is the 2750, and it's got a little. Theoretically, the blade is a little longer, just a tad, couple hundredths. Little thicker blade, 1400ths. I'm pretty sure this is 125 thousandths, 1/8 inch. Crew wear, steel. It's a little upgrade in steel. Maybe. I do like the M4, but the crew wear I think maybe a little better. Hardened up just 1 point on the Rockwell scale. Overall length of 8.89 and a handle length of 5.11. So it's kind of bigger throughout. 6500 handle compared to 60. So I mean, like, not much, but it's actually, to me, seems kind of substantially bigger in the handle anyway. Let's see if we can stick these up here. Real quick, like, I don't know, it's kind of hard. Light's not very good. I'm outside, but it's overcast, smoked in as usual. Haven't seen the direct sun for about 3 weeks. Anyhow, so yeah, now I've owned the Presidio, the first Presidio, the manual, and I also own the Presidio 2 manual. And I always want to get a Presidio 2 Auto, but for some reason I never did. And then I saw this one come out this year. And it's like bronzish brown, sandy, anodized color, and a little upgrade in steel. So one point I'm going to make is you can still get the standard Presidio 2 Auto, and it runs you, I wrote this down. Where the heck did I write it? Oh yeah, $246 for the standard, and this is about $255. I think that's probably pretty much. I didn't get it online, but I did buy it on the road. So I mean, it's pretty much the internet going rate. Bought it at Sportsman's Warehouse, great place. Unfortunately, it's getting bought out by Cabela's, but we'll see what happens. That's where I got this as well, and where I got this, which I've already done a video on that as well. I'll kind of throw it up there. One point I'd like to make is that they consider all of these blade shapes drop points, and you can see they're all different. Actually, these two are kind of similar. Maybe it looks a little different because this one has no serrations on it. I mean, it's different, but the point itself is kind of the same. This one, almost like a spear point. Closer to a spear point, I suppose. Anyway, I think it's really good hunting blade shape. So this one, I've packed this. I've had this with me. Got it a couple of weeks ago. Been on a fire. Just got back, not yesterday, but the day before. Yep, standard use on it for what I do, and I love it. I always knew those Presidios had a great blade shape. Very good cutting geometry. See if we get that to focus. You can see a little bit of oxidation, a little rusting. on that blade, which is no big deal because if I go to use it, it'll just wear right off. But I'm kind of glad they coat these because I don't have a chance to really keep them dry or oiled, at work. It is what it is. That's why I've always, of course, this one's going to make a 154 cm, always work good for me. But, same use basically on all these. And this is CPM crew wear, and it's not a real stainless steel as either, and same as this. Now, interestingly enough, these two have not got that issue, and this one has been in the water quite a bit, actually. This one, no. But I did think the last thing I did was I was cutting steak with it and some other food, and I didn't wash it off. You can kind of see that's kind of greasy. It is what it is. I should probably clean that. And this one's got some pitch on it still. The same thing. I've used this for food, and it hasn't rusted. So, M4, maybe a little less chromium. I can't remember. I didn't really check of the element chart for that. Oh, I could. Perhaps there's less chromium in that M4 than there is in crewware. I'm not sure. But, great knife. Now, the only thing about it is it does have some substantial weight. 6.32 ounces, but... it's not like it's a tank, or it is a tank, but it's not like it's a lead weight. Not bad. I think for what you get with this knife, I think it's worth the extra weight. It's very sturdy, stable, just a tough knife. I like it. I really like that aluminum too. Now, this one's got G10, actually amazingly light. What'd they get this thing down to? I did write it down. Where is it? God, I think it says like 4.81 ounces. I guess I didn't write that down. Anyway, they did cut a lot of weight off of this. It's pretty light. So I think it's under 5 ounces for that big ass knife. They did a good job with that. And then of course this close to 6 ounces, so a little bit less than this. So I'm used to that extra weight. Now, so yeah, I'm kind of putting these up because you got lots of options. If somebody's looking for a Benchmade knife, an auto, or even manual, I think all these come in a manual. I'll get to that manual part on this in a second. But that's where this comes in. I really like this knife. It's a sleeper. I mean, this thing ain't that flashy. Like, they've kind of had this style for a long time. But what they did is they eventually made it in plastic, or that grivery they call it. Tough. Apparently it's their toughest auto knife they make. That's what they say. I mean, I'm not really going to doubt that. It's kind of hard to believe. And like before in my previous video, I did point out that whatever that thing is came out. So, always an option. Don't overlook this guy. But if you're looking for some fancy pants knife, this is it. It's like the ultimate. It's like the Cadillac, I guess. The Cadillac of the Benchmade's line. One of them. Okay, so getting back to... you get a manual in all these. This one now comes in their CF Elite, which is... CF Elite. I can't remember what that is. I think it's fiber. Some kind of fiberglass plastic polymer. I don't know. Some kind of hybrid. I've picked those up, and I'm not overly impressed with them. Now this one's grivery. It's plastic. It's just a straight polymer, no fiberglass, and I don't even know what that CF Elite has. Anyway, the CF Elite has its benefits, I guess. I don't know. I pick them up. I'm like, damn. I kind of wish they wouldn't have. I wish they still offered the manual in aluminum, but I already have one, so I don't need it, and I kind of prefer autos anyway for a few different reasons. So I'm glad they still make this in the aluminum because I do like having an aluminum knife. Obviously, G10 or plastic have their benefits, probably a little less weight. But at the same time, plus the cold, the weather, they're not affected. That's one thing about this. Not only the weight, I have this in my pocket, I really forget. Because I'm used to carrying a heavier knife, but I really forget I even have, or I can't tell. Sometimes I have to check to make sure that I have this with me. Okay? I mean, it's not like an ultralight knife, but it's substantially lighter than the rest of these. So, long story short, don't forget about that one if you're just after an auto. Because they're all great blade shapes, all great steels. I've sharpened all of them. They sharpen right up. I've actually had some pretty good experience with them before. This is new to me. It's the first knife I've had in that. And then this is the CPM D2. So, I don't know. It seems to sharpen up just like D2 does. So, that's great. Anyway, yeah, super awesome knife. Definitely worth a shot. And they do offer, for $10 less or so, black and then S30V. I prefer that. I really like this gold bronze color anyway. Hopefully that's coming out in the video. Plus they do give you the gray Cerakote as opposed to black. And then it's an upgrade over that S30V. S30V is fine, but it's kind of run of the mill. I kind of actually prefer 154 CM because I've never had any rusting with these, and I have had experience with some of that with the S30V. The S30V probably is the better steel. I won't argue that, but they're both good. This one's definitely never let me down. Always holds a pretty good edge, depending on what you're cutting, and it won't rust, and it's just reliable. S30V maybe more prone to chipping, but then again, if you do get some chipping in there, it still maintains an edge for a long time. At least that's my experience. So all of them are good. In the field, you probably don't notice a whole lot of difference between the two, except for these ones are going to dull out slower, probably will hold an edge longer, but depending on your time between sharpenings, that's not really going to matter. I mean, this one's never let me down, like I said. Yeah. So anyway, just kind of wanted to show this. Definitely a beauty. I've been looking forward to getting this for years, and then this year they came out with this, and I couldn't help myself. So it's out in the store, and I snapped it up. Brand new, never opened, which I do prefer. That was nice. That was a good benefit. Probably the reason why I pulled the trigger. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for now. All three of these newer ones I've gotten this year, all good. Benefit of this is lightweight, great blade shape, perfect, kind of like my standard go-to, as it's hasn't changed a whole lot out of these older ones. And it's the same as the AFO2s, as far as I can tell. Awesome blade shape. A little thicker, a little beefier, a little tougher probably, and a great cutter. I mean, like if you're whittling wood or shaving wood or whatever, like bushcraft type stuff, it works. Not bad. This one's actually better. Heck, this one I'd have to put in side by side by this blade geometry, but man, be nice if I would have gotten. They don't make. That's another thing, is they're not coming out with these without the serrations. I do like serrations, but generally I'd probably prefer not having them. I've said that before. All three great. Benchmade is really knocking out of the park in my opinion, as usual. So anyway, I hope you have a great day, and hopefully it's not smoked in where you're at. And hopefully my voice isn't all rough, because I've been breathing a lot of smoke lately. Anyway, take it easy. Bye.